It is time to get into the third version of reading Reddit stories. Alright, so let's pull up a few stories now. See, am I the asshole for upstaging my sister's wedding announcement with my adoption news? Definitely. Not even gonna listen to the story of that. See, a meat animal that doesn't eat grass. That's the chickens. How do you approach advanced ancient civilizations? Am I the asshole if I take away my teenage daughter's future because she was mean for a minute? Okay, yeah, I am going to read it. Oh, it's long. Okay. This was long as my dick. Alright, let's make sure you guys can see it. Good. So, am I the asshole if I take away my daughter's future because she was mean for a minute? Repost. Because shitposts are only allowed on Saturday and Sunday. Anyway. I, 44M, am married to my wife, 42F. She has a son, 19M, and I have a daughter, 17F. Our previous spouses both passed away. We started dating 8 years ago and married 3 years ago, and have been living as a family for some period of time. 3 to 8 years. That's an oddly wide range. Anyway. There have been no major fights, so clearly they're just as close as blood siblings, actually even closer. Which is why I will refer to my son as her brother. Here, because that is undeniably how she sees him as well. After all, we all know kids love change, and who even remembers their life from before they're 10? What the fuck? I think I'm starting to understand why he said shitposts. In my youth, I played some basketball, even in college, at a not very significant school. My son, though, he was a fantastic basketballer, a tremendous athlete. Nobody could hold a candle to him. D-fucking-1, and even getting scholarship offers. Which is good, because before this I only had the girl. Yuck, okay. I couldn't believe my luck when I was suddenly blessed with a star athlete boy who I could take under my wing and build a great bond with. When he got scholarship offers, I realized that my wife and I would be able to pay for my daughter's college in full, and told her to rejoice as her life would be debt-free. Sadly, my golden boy slipped up. He took a spin on a friend's motorcycle even though he had zero training and caused himself permanent injury. This has of course been devastating for him and caused him to fall into depression. My wife and I got him therapy and meds and are just doing everything to be there for him in these dark times. What about the daughter, though? He also lost a scholarship, such a tragedy. Oh yeah, for girl child, okay, fuck you. That also means she may now have to go halvesies on the college money, but I digress. Back to the important stuff. My son confided in me that the meds for his depression have been affecting his libido. For some reason, I told my daughter about this as well, or she overheard me as we are a family of eavesdroppers, see next paragraph. Now, I overheard 17F on the phone in her room talking to her friends. She was lashing out about the situation, saying she can't wait to be gone because my son cries all the time and his hand is gross. What the fuck? I was going to talk to her about this later. She should realize that her brother's in pain. But then she went over the line. She said, he can't even get it up, and laughed. The fuck? The vile cunt. How dare she talk about his pee-pee? Which is clearly the most important part in all of this, even though we might be able to remedy it eventually by switching meds. Why are siblings talking about each other's genitals? Now I was seeing red, stormed into her room, took away her electronics, car keys, grounded her, and yelled at her that if her brother had heard this, he might commit suicide, and it would be clearly all her fault. What's her face has got some nerve. Oh, okay. Now, dear people of Reddit, instead of getting my daughter some therapy and or extending the grounding, I'm considering taking away any and all college money from her. Only seems fair. My wife seems to think that's unproportionate, however, she is just one silly woman. So I would like a couple hundred internet strangers to weigh in, please. Do you agree with me that this is one moment of bitchiness my daughter lost any claim to a future? I mean, come on, she's 17 already, which we all know is the pinnacle of wisdom. She should realize that you can never say mean things about a man's pee-pee and then expect to receive any help whatsoever for the rest of your life. Edit. Clearly everyone agrees that it would be too much to take the college money away. I now also agree that after reading it from some anonymous strangers, the girl child just makes me so mad with her entitlement. You get it. Also, some of you seem to think I've been favoring my son, and this has led to the 7-year-old female to lash out. I don't know. Where do you get that idea? Just because I haven't mentioned anything about her? Come on. This post is not about her at all. It's about my son and his trauma and how she said something mean about him. So why would I mention her? Plus, she doesn't need my attention anyway. All I know about her life is what I hear from eavesdropping on her private combos, so she is clearly very self-reliant. And I've even let her live in my house this entire time, even as my son was going through so much. I really don't understand why you all seem to imply 17 female is going through a hard time as well. That thought has never crossed my mind at all, so clearly she isn't. I will fight you all in the comments. I accept it though. I would be the asshole. This is a satire post based on this one. Ooh, I get to see the actual legitimate one. Cause yeah, after a bit I understood that one was not legitimate, but... would I be if I refused to pay for my daughter's college for making fun of my stepson's injury and condition? Oh, this one's even longer. Alright, let's read the actual legitimate one now. Alright. Would I be the asshole if I refused to pay for my daughter's college for making fun of my stepson's injury and condition? I, 44M, am a widow of a previous marriage, and so is my wife, 42F. She has a son, 19M, from her previous marriage, and I have a daughter, 17F, as well. We dated for roughly 5 years before being married for 3 now. Oh, okay. And our kids have known each other since the beginning. No major fight or weirdness besides getting to know someone else as a parent/guardian. Sweetie? Sweetie. Can you get me my water, please? Thank you. You dropped your earbuds. Thank you. My son was a tremendous athlete in basketball, and I used to play in college at a school I'm sure none of you have heard of. Regardless, I know the ins and outs of basketball, and when he asked me to coach him, I was more than happy to. Turns out that he was good. Really good. Division 1 good. My wife is a controller, and I'm a pharmacist. Okay. Together we make a very, very comfortable living, but are not rich. So when my son was getting scholarship offers for basketball, I realized we could pay for my daughter's college in full, and neither of them would have any student loan debt when they graduate. A plan that I shared with my daughter, which I think was a mistake to begin with. These plans changed when my son tried riding on someone else's motorcycle with their permission but with zero training, and got badly injured on an ensuing crash. He lost part of his hand and foot, not life-threatening, but basketball ending. This happened last year, and my son has been in a deep depression that we're desperately trying to get him out of. But he feels like his entire identity got ripped away in the blink of an eye. He's been in counseling and prescribed medication, but it has not helped thus far. Recently, he confided in me that the pills he's on have unfortunate side effects with his libido to virtually zero interest and wants to stop them. I told him the important thing is that he's with us, but he can bring that up with his doctor next visit. Fast forward about 2 weeks. I'm upstairs looking for something in my room, and I hear my daughter talking to her friends on her phone about college. The conversation turned towards her brother, and she said she can't wait to be gone. I'm tired of hearing her brother cry every day. And saying his hand is gross. I knew spirits in the house had shifted since he became injured, but I didn't think she felt this type of way. I was going to talk to her later about this, but then I heard him say that he can't even get it up, while laughing. At that, I was furious. I stormed at her room, took her phone, laptop, car keys, and TV out of her room. I told her she should be ashamed of how she's talking about her brother, and he might do something permanent if he heard you talking about him like that. When my wife got home, we talked about what happened, and while she's very proud of the way I stood up for my son, she thinks it's too far to also not pay for her college since we could easily do so. Would I be the asshole if I don't pay for my daughter's college? Edit. Fairly unanimous that this would be too far, and I think I knew that, but I just can't calm down. Maybe I'm stunned that it was my own daughter saying it, but it's rare that I harbor something like this. Also, many comments hinting that I'm alienating or neglecting my daughter are completely unfounded. This post was about my son's condition, so I talked about my son. Maybe my daughter feels less important or neglected, but I can understand that. But it's certainly not because of a lack of attention or love. I accept it though, I would be the asshole. Bro, what? So maybe my daughter feels less important or neglected, but it certainly is not because of a lack of attention or love. Hang on. Let's quickly pull up the definition of neglected. Define neglected. Suffering lack of proper care, not receiving proper attention, disregarded. Now let's see. Feels less important or neglected because of a lack of attention, yet not receiving proper attention, disregarded. But it's certainly not because of a lack of attention. I want to see the comments for this one, honestly. Let's see. OP has offered the following explanations for why they think they might be the asshole. 1. Not paid for my daughter's college. 2. My son did not hear about these comments, and having to pay for your college is a tremendous burden on someone, so I don't know if the punishment fits the crime. But it's been days and I'm still furious. Sorry for a long answer, but it's kind of struck a chord. Is feeling jealous, left out, forgotten because of the situation for your son. Very compassionate response, so his sibling is favored. Very long. She is venting to her friends. While stupid, people need a safe place to vent. If she feels talking to her friends, even saying stupid shit, isn't safe. It's very bad. She did say this to her family or brother. I said a lot of things I didn't mean a week later to friends when I'm upset. Alright, clearly they're the asshole, also what the fuck. Alright, now let's look for another one. Are the gods in your world? Am I the asshole for no longer speaking to my family until they give me $1,200? Let's see how long this one is. Oh god, no. It's all one paragraph. That probably has terrible grammar and spelling mistakes. I do not want to read that. Let's just search for AITA. Sort by new. Or I guess r/AITA. Yeah, that one. Alright, let's check out new. Maybe we found this picture of you. Decide to post in r/am I the asshole. Ignore the rules in sidebar. Ignore the other posts on the front page. Hey mods, why can't I post here? Alright, read this if you are directed to the front page from mod mail. Are you looking for an idea? What? Oh, this is entirely different Reddit. This Reddit is r/are you looking for am I the asshole? Or it's probably because I was banned from am I the asshole. Oh well. Am I the asshole for not masking how I feel? Am I, 14M, in the wrong here? So I'm an empath and I love with two other people besides my parents. Where the problem started is when I got mad at Aaron M because he refused a cheer-up gift from me. When he came up and tried to talk to me, I didn't mask how I felt and just said basic answers. Soon after, he left saying, "You should have said go fuck yourself sooner." Some background, I'm also autistic and don't really have empathy for other humans most of the time. Am I the— what the fuck? So I'm an empath, and don't really have empathy for other humans most of the time. What? Oh. For some more background, I also had a shit day and one meltdown from his aura today. Yay. I'm just gonna. There we go. And reply. Because that was terrible. Fucking, I'm an empath. By majority of the time, I don't have empathy for anyone whatsoever. Am I the asshole for me? That's not a top one. That's a top one, not a recent one. Let's go to new. Am I the asshole for not wanting to share a room with my best friend and new GF while visiting for a boys' weekend? Ooh. Oh, nice. Nice and long. I, 23M, drove 5 hours to have a boys' weekend with my long-distance best friend, 23M, and to just spend some quality time seeing how I rarely get to see him these days. He has recently I'm gonna assume that's an error. He has recently gotten into a relationship with a coworker at his workplace, and I've been happy for them both, but I don't know his new significant other very well to preface. It had worked out that his new significant other was working this entire weekend, and she was house sitting at their boss's house. So I was told we'd have a boys' weekend, no girls or third wheeling. Previously, I had lived with my best friend and his ex of 5 years, and I have done my fair share of third wheeling, and he had known it was not exactly something I'm a big fan of. The weekend is going well until he gets a message from his new significant other that their boss's daughter is actually going to come back early and will also be staying in the house that she is currently house sitting for. She mentions to him that she doesn't feel comfortable sharing the house with her boss's daughter and asks if she could stay with my best friend for the night. I'm currently staying with my best friend and just sleeping on the floor of his room. Ooh, that's gonna get awkward fast. When my best friend mentions this to me, I tell him that I don't feel very comfortable sharing a room with someone that I'm not familiar with, and that I don't want to third wheel this weekend, to which he then gets irate and tells me, or irate, and then tells me I've ruined the best rest of the day and proceeds to not want to talk to me. The fuck? Surely he said something worse. The fuck? I try offering solutions and asking why doesn't she go back to her own home, and he mentions that she lives too far away and has to be back at work the next day, early, so she would rather stay at his place as he lives only a few minutes away. I don't think my feelings were that unreasonable. I'm definitely willing to understand if I was being entitled or a dickhead, but I'm willing to understand this from both perspectives. Regardless, this incident has placed a strain on the rest of the trip, unfortunately. I caved and said yes and swallowed my pride. My best friend is now very happy, but I'm sitting here thinking about the implications something like this has for a friendship. End that friendship. The fuck? Those two are going to be sharing the bed, and you're going to be sleeping on the floor next to them. No, leave. Opie has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I didn't want my best friend's girlfriend to stay over during a boys' weekend. Does this make me an asshole? I would say that's the reason. You drove 5 hours for this? Not the asshole. Yeah, continue to think about the implications for this friendship. The prognosis is not great. What is a colorectal surgeon? What's the Supreme Court just asked? Anyway. Alright, so it looks like a general understanding that they are not the asshole. Alrighty. Next one. Am I the asshole for pouring out my son's liquor? My son turned 21 about 3 years ago, what? And ever since he hasn't been able to go without a drink. Okay. It's all gotten worse and downhill. He's to the point he's drinking hard liquor like beer. I wouldn't say it's hard liquor, but okay. So anyways, before he came home from his drug dealer buddy's house, I snuck into his room and poured out like 4 handles of bottom shelf vodka he had stashed in his closet. He's supposed to be back soon after I made this post. I don't know how he will react. The reason I feel like an asshole is because he spent his own money on the vodka and he is an adult now, which means he has certain rights. Am I the asshole? Complicated. Hope he has offered the following estimate. Why? He uses his own money to buy it. Yeah. Beer's hard liquor? Yeah, you're the asshole. If you actually cared, you would talk to him. I never said beer's hard. Yes, you did. I've tried to talk to him, but he gets angry. Alright, so, beer's hard liquor. I never said beer's hard liquor. And then let's go up to the story again. Let's see. So, and he's to the point he's drinking hard liquor like beer. What in a narcissist? Alright, you're the asshole. Hard liquor like beer. Drug dealer buddy. He has to hide his alcohol in his closet as a 24-year-old. Yes, young people can be alcoholics, but nothing you said actually expressed that or that you tried talking to him before going to his room, when he was gone and throwing out his belongings. Let's see what it looks like. Vodka, and he is an adult now, which means he has certain rights. So, sorry, but only because you went to his room and threw out something that was his, and he paid for it, and he is an adult. I know you are trying to help him, but somehow I don't think it will help. He will just hide it better next time. Why is he living with you at age 24? He moved back in with us after his long-term girlfriend cheated on him. Bro, of course he's gonna fucking drink. His long-term girlfriend cheated on him. And you're just making it worse. Get him, like, therapy or something. Anything posted by this account is completely satire art and considered to be free speech under the First Amendment. You're the asshole. Okay. What kind of reason is that? Not the asshole, but maybe a bit naive. Only one person saying not the asshole. And it looks like I had actually gotten a response for the message I meant to send earlier, but anyway. We're at 22 minutes. Let's do one more story. Let's see. Am I the asshole for encouraging my friend to reflect on her past? Am I the asshole for making my mom cry? Am I the asshole for refusing to sleep on the couch? Am I the asshole for not suing a hospital? DAE, think Maddie's post too much porn to Quick Jeff? What? Anyway, and then just one that says, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not wanting boys and dogs? Am I the asshole for leaving a 7-year relationship because he grosses me out? Oh, and it looks like a pretty dramatic one too. Nice. Forgive me for my grammar, as English is not my first language. And you guys all know what that's like. Whenever someone says English is not their first language, the story's gonna be significantly better written than someone who only speaks English. So let's go for this. I, 29 have... Sorry about that, guys. I have a bit of a cold. But anyway. I, 29F, have been with my significant other, 35M, for about 7 years. Wait a second. I mean, 22, that's still consenting, so okay. We have never lived together, and we're planning to purchase a home sometime in the near future in this economy. Now again, English isn't their first language, so they're probably in an area with a better economy. Then again, this year there's not really a better economy. Anyway, in the near future. In the beginning of our relationship, everything was rainbows and butterflies romance-wise. I was young and we had a super long honeymoon phase. However, one particular problem I ignored was the fact that his apartment was so dirty. There was visible dirt on all surfaces, garbage laying on the floor in spots where it shouldn't be, and a thick layer of movie effect intensity dust on most surfaces. How does dust collect in areas that you're actively living in? Anyway, I passed this off as him just being a guy and took to cleaning things myself. Unfortunately, I believe he got used to this and it doesn't get cleaned unless I do it. Oh my god. 2 to 3 years ago, I noticed several things that began to put me off big time. He would get into bed after work. He's a plumber. Oh god. Gabe directly into bed after work and being a plumber. Like, I find that people who say don't sleep in bed with your outside clothes, like, that's a little much. I can understand that slightly, but I personally don't follow that. But he's a plumber. As in, like, working on, like, toilets and shit. Literally, shit. Yeah, that is an issue. So with dirt and dust all over him and not take a shower. I personally shower at night as I feel like it's disgusting to bring dirt into your bed. I personally shower at night because I don't like showering in the morning. It all just depends. Let alone that kind of dirt where it's falling off of you into your sheets. If I would suggest showering, he would get extremely defensive and say he likes to shower in the morning so that he can go to work clean. The fuck? No. Also, you can shower at night and that means you're still going to work clean. Laying in bed does not make you dirty unless your bed is dirty. Which currently it is, but hey, you can clean your bed, shower at night, and then go to bed feeling clean with a clean bed and still be clean in the morning. I also began to notice consistent stale vape breath / coffee breath at all times. Ooh. Which does not make you want to kiss a person. Sometimes I could smell it from a few feet away. If I politely pointed it out or offered gum, he would get defensive again and tell me coffee breath doesn't bother him, so why should I care? And why is it a big deal? Bruh, it's unpleasant. Just because you're used to it doesn't mean other people have to be. Then there was the snot. What? I'm feeling nausea just writing this. He will pick his nose, which I think is vile, and more often than not have stuff hanging from his nose. If I pointed this out, you guessed it, he gets defensive. Or will straight up pick his nose, no tissue, has thrown it on the floor? Or thrown it in the car floor? Wipes it on his pants, etc.? How do you go to work clean if you're wiping your boogers on your pants? Like, kind of counterproductive there, bud. It goes on. These are just the big ones. In addition to these things, there are other issues, like the way he speaks in front of my family or in public is often obnoxious and embarrassing. Yeah, the way he acts is honestly obnoxious and embarrassing already, not even the way he speaks. Sometimes inappropriate jokes to my parents, oh no, that's just fucked, which they have said they do not appreciate. Sometimes he will even say disrespectful things to me in front of my parents, which they have also commented on. Good for them. Yeah, definitely. Overall, I find myself more embarrassed than I am to be proud to be with him. It's like he stopped caring. I think he stopped caring right off the bat. He never really cared. Like, the struggling to clean things might just be depression or something, because, like, I can understand struggling to keep things clean while struggling with your mental health. But the boogers, not really much of an excuse. Like, even the not showering as much, that can be an excuse for depression. But the boogers are not. Like, he showers, so it's not like it's that bad of depression, but the boogers are just disgusting. Let's see. It's like he stopped caring. I feel like leaving him would be an asshole move to him, since I know he still loves me. I would be breaking his heart. He tells me that all the time that I'm the love of his life. Then fucking step up. In his defense, he is kind to me, helps me with anything I need, and occasionally treats me to gifts I didn't ask for, which is very generous of him. He's typically emotionally supportive as well. So how's he kind to you if he is being obnoxious and embarrassing in public, and making inappropriate jokes to your parents, and saying disrespectful things to you in front of your parents? Am I being too shallow? Should I stick it out? I don't know if this is just supposed to be what most men are like, or what. We are never intimate anymore, and I feel like I just tolerate him, so you don't have feelings for him anymore. But I don't want to ruin his life by leaving him. Am I the asshole? You wouldn't be ruining his life? Like, kind of, if you're ruining his life by leaving him, then he's dependent on you. He's not really being an adult. So no, you wouldn't be the asshole if you leave him. And you should leave him. Unless, of course, you can give him, like, hey, step the fuck up or else I'm leaving. Like, a lot of people say, like, that's a toxic thing, but honestly, sometimes you do have to be a little toxic in order to help out a person. And there's no comments here yet. Can I make a comment? Oh, I can't. Sweet. I am going to make a comment. So, gonna start off with not the asshole. He says respectful things to you in front of your parents, makes inappropriate jokes in front of your parents, is obnoxious and embarrassing. And yeah, I believe that's all the points that I made for that one. And is obnoxious, embarrassing. So I wouldn't I always forget how to spell necessarily. Don't judge me. There we go. Necessarily say he is all that respectful to you. Where's the numbers? There. 1, 2. I can understand letting go of cleanliness over time due to depression, but he clearly motivates himself to shower enough, and go to work every day, so it can be something like major depressive disorder. But I do understand letting go of cleanliness. However, it is still something you should put your foot down about, since he is clearly not valuing you and your health enough to make you clean up after him. Let's see. What was the other point I was going to make? Let's see. Disrespect, cleanliness. He may be showing some mild signs of narcissism, which you should probably look into. I don't know either. I know I spelled narcissism wrong, don't judge me. There we go. I don't know either of you, so I can't assume too much, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Finally, I think that if you want to give the relationship another chance, then you should put your foot down, set up some boundaries, set up some boundaries, even tell him I did he's, he is, he's is, there we go, he is. Even tell him to therapy or something, and if he doesn't start to clean up his act, then you should definitely leave. There's always the chance for you to regain feelings for him. However, which is why you should try to get him to improve his own life. However, you're not required to look after him. He's a full-grown man with a job. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's older than her as well. Oh yeah, he's way older than her. The fuck? Why's she cleaning up after him? He's a full-grown man with a job. And he should know better. After all, if he's not willing to look into himself in order to save seven years, then you can know for certain that there's no point in fighting for it any longer. P.S. By reading through his past reactions, it may be best to give him this boundary with someone you trust nearby in case if he loses his temper. I wish you luck and have a great rest of your day. In case he loses, it works too. Rest more time every day. And yeah, comment. Oh, I didn't notice there were 2 dots. Oh well. And that will be the end of this episode. As you guys can see, I did not write a script for this week's episode either. So I'm just gonna copy off of last week's outro. So check out my novels on Amazon Kobo, link in description. Check out Creative Writing Club Premium on Patreon, Spotify, link in description. Check out Quill and Scroll Stash in the description. Check out Creative Writing Club Discord server in the description. Check out my personal Instagram at dark_night_wolves. And now it's time to bring this AITA of a meeting to an end. Thank you all.